Welcome to the show, friends. Another week of this. It is Mikey and Bob, the 96.1 Kiss Morning Freak Show. I think I expected too much out of the Grammys. Yeah. I feel like the Oscars in the Will Smith Chris Rock slap had me ready for like an insane Grammys moment that never came. Like, you know, it was a good show, and I sort of like the way that the Grammys does treat that show like a concert now, because like the awards are just like quick here and there, but it's mostly like they fill the Grammys with performances now, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the Oscars did ruin everything though, because up until the Oscars, like the past couple of years, award shows have been poop.
Right, yes.
Oscars
especially
happened.
like pandemic award shows, it's kind of awkward, and there hasn't really been sort of a moment or, you know, something to really talk about that is hip hop culture like the Oscar slap. And I think that's where we were. We were all heightened on like to award shows. We're like, oh, I gotta watch
Grammys is gonna be great.
And it was kind of like even the way they gave out Grammys, like, you know, Song of the Year and Record of the Year went to Silk Sonic for Leave the Door Open, which like is great and it's safe, and like everybody loves Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak, right? Like I feel like nobody's gonna be like boo. Like everybody's like, yeah, those dudes are cool, you know?
Yeah.
And then Album of the Year, the big award went to John Batiste, right?
Yeah.
Which, you know, if you haven't heard his album, it's a great album, but you know, if you were expecting this big like Olivia Rodrigo or Billie Eilish, like these big sort of more popular names who had bigger albums and more commercial success, like I feel like the Grammys just went safe for it. Like, nobody's really going to have a problem if we give Album of the Year to John Batiste and throw some Silk Sonics in there.
It was all very safe.
It was. And I think sort of sucks for us because I'm sitting here just like, all right, Grammys, what do we talk about from the wild Grammys last night? It's just kind of like, yeah, right. Some good performances and some people that you can't be like, boo, what awards? And okay, keep it moving. Yeah, but luckily we have, you know, a few jokes about the slap, and of course Saturday Night Live joked about the slap. So since the Grammys did not give us a moment, we will continue to milk the content from the Will Smith Chris Rock slap on the show today. Welcome to another week of this. It is Mikey and Bob, the Kiss Morning Freak Show. 96.1. The Grammys just sort of happened, right? I think I was expecting more from the Grammys. Like, it wasn't a bad show. There were some great musical performances that we'll all forget in a week.
Yep.
You know, so
not much to remember.
Some very worthy people like Silk Sonic and Olivia Rodrigo and John Batiste won the most Grammys last night.
Sure, good songs. Yeah, good album.
Am I just like... Did the Oscar slap ruin it? Like, I felt like going into the Grammys, I was like, award shows are back. Let's go.
We needed more last night.
Like, for the last week, I had the fantasy of Chris Rock opening the Grammys with jokes about the slap because we really haven't heard his jokes yet. I'm telling you, Chris Rock still has a good 10 minutes, right?
I think that's what it was, though. We built that up in our head that, Chris Rock might show up and tell some jokes. And then
or just something, you know?
There was nothing.
Trevor Noah hosted the Grammys, of course. He does a solid job, you know? He's got a couple jokes here and there, but he just sort of keeps it moving. And Trevor Noah, the other thing I really noticed, I think, from the Grammys is, like, it's very positive, you know? Like, Trevor Noah doesn't go up there. Silk Sonic opened the Grammys, but Trevor Noah doesn't go up there and just go, let me just rip on every musical act that was big or made the news over the past year, you know? He just has a couple pop culture jokes and then, like, right into another performance. Like, the only sort of, I guess, reference to even the slap during his opening monologue, sort of.
We're listening to some music. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be singing. We're going to be keeping people's names out of our mouths. And we're going to be giving out awards all throughout the night.
So I feel like, you know, I wanted more to happen. Like, I wanted Chris Rock jokes. I wanted slap jokes. I wanted another moment that we could talk about for an entire week. And it was just like, yeah, so some good performances and some awards went out, and okay, then, moving on.
Kind of boring.
Award shows are bad again. I mean, they had a 1 week run where I proclaimed award shows were back, but it's over again. No reason to watch award shows again. Award shows are no longer back. 1 week, They gave us, we shot across the sky with the Oscars for a week, and now I'm here to say, award shows, you don't even need to watch them anymore. Just wake up the next morning and scroll through Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and you'll get the moments. You no longer need to watch award shows live. The Oscars put it on a pedestal that can no longer be attained. So, but however, Bob, even though they might not have had the moment last night, and there was no Chris Rock special appearance to do like 10 minutes on the slap, I need you to look at Facebook comments, though, because if there's one thing the Grammys always delivers, it's a couple good rounds of reading the Grammys Facebook comments. We will get to that coming up this morning on the Kiss Morning Freak Show. It's Mikey and Bob.
96.1 Kiss.
All right, let's get to that. We're all going to learn something together right now. It's time to find out, why the hell is this trending with Mikey and Bab? The morning after maybe music's biggest night, the Grammys. Scammies is trending. Not the Grammys. Scammies is trending, and we have the BTS Army to thank because of this. You don't want to mess with the BTS Army. I am telling you right now. I don't care if you're a person, a radio station, an award show. You do not want to get on the bad side of the BTS Army.
Trending worldwide, right?
Because they are a force. Yes, Scammies is trending worldwide after the Grammys because a lot of fans of course, the hugely worldwide popular BTS group is angry because they performed, and they did a great job performing, but they didn't win for pop duo or group performance. They didn't win the Grammy for that, losing out to Doja Cat and SZA for Kiss Me More. So a lot of BTS fans, the BTS Army, is angry that, and I feel like we've talked about this on the show before. BTS is used for award shows. They might
100%.
never get the big awards, but they're going to be invited and perform just so everybody gets that BTS Army, worldwide and social media boost. Mm-hmm. But then it's like, we got to give them the Grammy? No. Okay. All right. By the way, did you see the Army thing, like the actual real South Korean Army thing that BTS is going to have to go through now, apparently?
Yeah, I did see that.
South Korea's ambassador to Great Britain made it clear K-pop band members BTS have the same obligations in their country as everyone else, an obligation to protect their country. South Korea requires men ages 18 to 28 to serve at least 18 months. The ambassador said it is very much expected that young Korean men serve the country, and those BTS members are role models for many young generation Koreans. He didn't give a time frame on when the members of BTS will be called to duty, but I guess that's a real thing, that at some point they are going to eventually have to join the South Korean Army for at least 18 months. So, again, scammies trending in the country and worldwide, all because of the real BTS Army just not happy that they didn't win Grammys after their performance last night. We'll have much more coming up from the Grammys, including the place I think we always go to after an award show. We will read Grammy angry Facebook comments on the Kiss Morning Freak Show. It's Mikey and Bob.
96.1 Kiss.
It's Mikey and Bob, the 96.1 Kiss Morning Freak Show. As always, you can get a hold of us during the show on the request lines, 412-937-9610. Just put that in your phone for any time. That's 412-937-9610. Also, when you're streaming 96.1 Kiss at any time on the iHeartRadio app, you can hit the red talkback microphone. Send us messages anytime like this one.
Hey, Mikey and Big Bob. I was just listening to the podcast from Friday, and Mikey, I heard that you don't like the deep ocean, rivers and things. I wanted to let you know. I thought that was really cool because I don't either. I feel like something down there is going to grab me and pull me under if I can't see through. So I'd also take the crystal clear Caribbean. All right, love you guys. Keep doing what you do.
Yeah, I've explained this before on the show. I do not swim in anything that's not a pool or the, again, crystal clear Caribbean because I can see my feet.
Right.
I believe deep ocean was in my top 5 fears of all time, so let's just get to this real quick. It's time for the Power Rankings with Mikey and Bob on 96.1 Kiss.
Brought to you by our friends at C. Harper Auto Group.
Do you have your 5 over there too, Bob?
I do,
All right,
yeah.
let me get my Top 5 worst fears of all time. Number 5, toilets that aren't toilets, like outhouses and holes in the ground. My 4th worst fear, all slimy animals, snakes, worms, frogs, fish. My 3rd worst fear, getting an illness or disease that requires a lot of treatments and needles. Sort of a weird list here. Number 2 worst fear, swimming in lakes and rivers. And my number 1 worst fear, it is the deep ocean. Yeah. Woo! Lego. All right, now Bob's top 5 worst fears of all time. Bob, number 5.
Snakes that swim.
Okay, that's a good one. Number 4 worst fear, birds. Just birds.
Can't trust them.
Just birds.
Can't
And number
trust
4,
them.
number 3 worst fear.
Your house catches fire and you're sleeping naked.
Oh, yeah, it's a bad one right there, yeah. Firefighters show up to save your home and your pets and your family, and you're just sitting there with butt cheeks out. Bob's second favorite worst fear, not a favorite thing, but worst fear.
The Nest camera ring doorbell dings at 4 a.m.
Yeah, oh, yeah. You gotta check if you got any sneakers out there.
Could be an animal, could be a naked man dressed as a clown.
Any sneakosaurus?
Yeah.
It's a bit aggressive, naked guy dressed as a clown. Would that be a scary thing, or would that be a treat?
You know.
And here we go. Bob's worst fear of all time. Number 1.
Human-like robots.
Okay. Great number 1. Boop, boop. Yeah. Woo!
Lego.
That is a great number 1 that I don't think anybody can argue with.
For you, I guess you moved on really easily.
Olivia Rodrigo, pretty big night last night at the Grammys, taking home 3 Grammys, including Best New Artist. Of course, we will have more from last night's Grammy Awards, including a round or 2 of Grammy Facebook comments coming up this morning on the Kiss Morning Freak Show. Now, once again, you can send us messages through the iHeartRadio app when you're streaming 96.1 Kiss at any time. Just hit the red talkback microphone, send us messages. We got this one last night.
Hey there, Mickey, and back there, Bob.
Okay, did he just call you Back Dare Bob?
He did.
Okay, listeners have been calling you Backdoor Bob because at the new building we're in, you've been parking in this secret spot by the back door. I think he just called you Back Dare Bob.
Hey there, Mickey, and back there, Bob.
Okay, and he called me Mickey too. Mickey and Back Dare Bob. I like it.
Just seeing if you're watching this explosion on WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
Pat McAfee's kind of whooping shop.
Yeah.
And wanted to see what you guys thought about it.
Yeah, I was all in this weekend on the spectacle that is WrestleMania. And last night was pretty special, I think, for a lot of people in Pittsburgh that have been, just following Pat McAfee's career. He's from Plum. He played sports there. He's given back so much to that, school system and everything. And then he goes to punt at West Virginia and then gets in the NFL, becomes this hugely successful NFL punter, and then just sort of retires at almost the peak of his career, which left a lot of people going like, what is this guy doing?
Right.
And now he just has this huge sort of sports entertainment platform that allows him to basically hang out with his friends and just sort of laugh all day. And
There's not much Pat can't do at this point.
no, last night was a dream come true for local Yin superhero Pat McAfee. He was featured in a WrestleMania match against this guy, Austin Theory. And then I feel like another dream for Pat, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out last night, drinks beers with Pat, and then hits Pat with a Stone Cold Stunner. Just an awesome moment to see for just a local guy that I think so many people still watch and follow his career because he's representing Pittsburgh in a pretty great way out there. So yes, WrestleMania was always fun. I like how they do the 2-night thing, so you get Saturday and Sunday night, so you're not just watching one big 8-hour spectacle. So yes, Pat McAfee was awesome at WrestleMania. I think he continues to surprise people just how much of a unicorn human being he is. He's doing flips off the top rope and stuff like that. It's just incredible. We love the guy. Salute to Pat McAfee and all the boys. Just a great appearance at WrestleMania last night. All right, we are around 7 o'clock. This is the time in the show know we like to do today in Freak Show history, take you back to a moment in the show that made us smile, made us laugh. Here we go.
Today in Freak Show history.
Freak Show history. Today in Freak Show history, we take you back. We're going to take you back a while here. I still don't know where this clip came from. I don't even feel like we can find this video anymore. I feel like we found this early years of YouTube and haven't been able to find it since.
Yep.
It was a 1980s instructional video for clowns, so people who dress up like clowns, that are visiting very specifically senior care homes.
When you're ready to launch out into the unknown, possibly the best place to begin is in a nursing home or a care center for the elderly.
I agree. Complete with 80s instructional music and everything.
One reason is simply this. The elderly really receive you quite well. I think it's because they already know how vulnerable they are.
Oh, yeah. Old people are so vulnerable that they can't escape from the spooky clowns.
They're lonely, and they long for touch.
Oh, yes, they do. Those old people just want
Touch of a clown.
Hot clown touch. They've already had love their whole life. They just want the touch of a clown. Honk, honk.
If a person is hungry, you feed them.
Yeah.
If they're thirsty, you give them something to drink.
If they're horny,
If they're in need of touch, you touch them.
If they're horny, send it to clowns. If they're horny, send it to clowns.
There are a few common sense rules that every clown ought to be aware of before planning to go into a nursing home.
All right, here we go. Here's the rules.
If it's your first time, plan on about a half-hour visit.
Half an hour with Grandpa and Grandpa. You're going to have no energy after that, trust me. Grandpa and Grandpa. Two grandpas, one clown. That hot?
Next, don't fulfill any request that is made of you by a patient.
No matter what Grandpa tells you to do, clown.
The best rule of thumb is don't do it. Also, check in advance with the head of nursing at the desk to find out if a particular patient might have some problems that you might encounter.
The guy in 312 is extra horny. Mike and Bob, it is the 96.1 Kiss Morning Freak Show. Of course, the Grammys were last night. The big award of the night, the final award, Album of the Year, going to John Batiste, who was nominated for 11 Grammys. But the big winners might have been Silk Sonic on the night. The chorus duo of Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak going 4 for 4, including winning Song of the Year and Record of the Year for Leave the Door Open.
We are really trying our hardest to remain humble at this point, okay? But in the industry, we call that a clean sweep. All right? For all the other nominees, y'all know we love y'all. We love y'all. All right? Drinks is on Silk Sonic tonight. We getting drunk.
You can't go wrong with, letting Silk Sonic perform or giving them awards. Like, I feel like they're pretty universally, accepted, as Bruno Mars has been through his whole career. Just like, all right, the party's here now. Look, Bruno Mars, Silk Sonic. Yeah, they opened up the Grammys. Another big night for Olivia Rodrigo. She won 3 Grammys, including Best New Artist, Best Pop Vocal Album for Sour. She also performed. She did a great performance. I know we've heard this song a million times, but Driver's License.
I guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. You said forever, now I drive alone past your street.
I think for a lot of people, when we watch award shows, we're like, all right, let's see if they sound like their actual record sounds when you're streaming it or hearing it on the radio. And Olivia Rodrigo did a great job last night with her performance. And then, of course, she won 3 Grammys.
When I was 9 years old, I told my mom I was going to be an Olympic gymnast, even though I could barely do a cartwheel. And she thought I was joking, but I was super defensive. expensive. And so the next week when I told her I was going to win a Grammy, she was very supportive, even though I'm sure she thought it was just a little kid pipe dream.
So pretty big night for Olivia Rodrigo, winning 3, including Best New Artist. I really thought the night that Silk Sonic had, though, getting Record of the Year and Song of the Year, right. I thought it was going to be for Olivia Rodrigo and Driver's License. Like, I thought it was going to be Olivia Rodrigo's night, and they sort of, spread it out. It's not like she had a bad night at all. She won 3 Grammys and Best New Artist, but Silk Sonic winning, a couple of the big awards, Song and Record of the Year, and then Album of the Year going to John Batiste for his album, We Are. So coming up before the end of this hour, we will go to the depths of hell. No matter what you thought about it last night, we will read some Grammys Facebook comments this hour here on the Kiss Morning Freak Show. It's Mikey and Bob.
96.1 Kiss.
All right, Bob, let's just real quick. Oh, no, not again. I mean, let's just... We thought it was over. There wasn't a lot that had to do with the Oscar slap at the Grammys last night, but a lot has happened since we last did a show on Friday. It's time to milk the slap content. Milk the slap content. The Oscar slap over a week ago now. On Friday, sort of a news dump, Will Smith resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences after the slap. He posted on Friday, "I will fully accept any and all consequences for my conduct. My actions at the Academy Awards presentation were shocking, painful, and inexcusable. The list of those I have hurt is long and includes Chris's family, many of my dear friends and loved ones, all those in attendance, and global audiences at home." He said, "Change takes time, and I'm committed to doing the work to ensure that I never again allow violence to overtake reason." So that is Will Smith resigning from the Motion Picture Academy. What does that mean, though? What, you can't do movies now? Does that even mean anything? Milk the slap content. And his resignation was accepted by the Academy. And then there's been a bunch of movies that have been paused by, like, studios, like Netflix. Bad Boys 4, I guess, has been, like, paused.
Did you know that was a thing, by the way?
I didn't. Like, why are we pausing Will Smith movies? Just keep it moving. If anything, I feel like people are more intrigued now to watch a Will Smith movie, to see, like, the first new movie that comes out since the slap. I don't get why they're putting projects off. It's like... There's been a lot of problematic people in Hollywood over the years.
A lot worse than the slap.
We are coming down on Will Smith like he murdered someone. And then let's get to Saturday Night Live. There was obviously a skit that was pretty funny that opened Saturday Night Live about the Oscar slap from a seat filler's perspective. Gerard Carmichael hosted Saturday Night Live. He's got a brand new Netflix special out. In his opening monologue, I feel like covered it pretty great.
I'm not going to talk about it. To be clear, up top, I talked about it enough.
Yeah.
Kept talking about it. Kept thinking about it. I don't want to talk about it. And you can't make me talk about it. But I got a question. Do you want to talk about it? Like, aren't you sick of talking about it? Isn't it kind of crazy? It feels like we've been talking about it for so long. This is going to really blow your minds. Can you believe it's been 6 days? 6 days. This happened a week ago. Doesn't it feel like it happened years ago? Doesn't it feel like it happened when we were all in high school? Like, it feels like it happened somewhere between Jamiroquai and 9/11. Like, somewhere.
Why is that so true? It's something that happened just over a week ago, but does. It feels like it fell in between Jamiroquai and 9/11. Milk the slap content. Milk the slap content. Grammys happened. Here we are, still talking about the slap over a week later.
Milk, I really want.
It's Mikey and Bob, the 96.1 Kiss Morning Freak Show. As always, if you miss any of our show live, you can get caught up with our Mikey and Bob podcast on the free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcast, brought to us by Carlow University. All right, a lot of awards were given out. There were some great performances at the Grammys. They did not have a moment that'll be talked about anywhere near the Will Smith, Chris Rock Oscar slap, but you already know that after the Grammys happen, exactly where we're going. It's time to read some Facebook comments.
Beware, we're going to a very deep, dark place. voice on the internet. It's time for 96.1 Kiss Facebook comments.
Grammys Facebook comments as John Batiste wins Album of the Year. Silk Sonic won Song and Record of the Year for Leave the Door Open. Olivia Rodrigo with 3 Grammys, including Best New Artist. Grammy Facebook comments, Christian C., I want awards for actual great music. The Grammys are a popularity contest. Yes, there's some autocorrect there. Christian called them the Grannies. Ed C., these are some of the Grammy winners this year that I've never heard of. Silk Sonic, SZA, Tyler the Creator, Jasmine Sullivan, and Brothers Osborne. And it's not on them. I'm sure they're all amazing entertainers. I'm just old. You know what? Listen.
All right.
I respect that comment.
They realized it.
Ed C. watched the Grammys like, I don't know who any of these people are, but also, I got old. Laura L. here. What happened to Carrie Underwood? She looks like a plastic wedding cake topper. And she's not a metal band. All right, throw that in there, too. Ed V. Too much sex. I turned it on and saw some guy grabbing his crotch and pumping away, and I turned it off. Please, parents, teach your kids about the birds and bees. Don't let them watch these perverts pump. I won't be watching next year. All right, listen, I mean, that can't be a real comment, right? That can't be a real comment. That has to be somebody just trolling the Facebook comments. Don R. here, Grammys Facebook comments. Why would I watch this? I remember back when I was in high school, we had real bands like Bon Jovi and Poison and Warrant and Quiet Riot back in the 80s when you had to play instruments and have actual live music. You think they ever gave a damn about an award or an award show? Gabrielle S. No disrespect to John Batiste, but who the hell is he? Comes to show you the Grammys are just a scam and nothing what they used to be. I mean, he's massively talented. He's the band leader for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
People do know who he is, yes.
Jimmy J here, Deftones, Mastodon, and Rob Zombie, all nominated, and they win nothing. Give these rock gods their trophies for once.
I thought it was Mastodon's year.
I agree. Give Mastodon a damn Grammy, would you? Michael D. here. Hello, my gorgeous women. Please, can we be friends? Every now and then,
throwing it out there,
every now and then, in the middle of a Facebook comment, you just get one that's like somebody opened the door and walked into a party that they don't belong in. Bailey A. It sounds so cool when no guitars are plugged in and they just lip sing all the songs. Beth J. here, more Grammys Facebook comments. Would have been nice to see the best metal performance televised. Dream Theater would have rocked the faces off that place. Listen, you know what? I'm sure they would have. We should let some metal band perform at the Grammys, but they have to go right after the In Memoriam segment. Like, I feel like that's what I want. If there is going to be a heavy metal band that rips the face off of everyone at the Grammys, as soon as the In Memoriam segment ends,
starts bringing the crowd down and then just hit them with the rock.
Nobody introduces them either. I don't want Trevor Noah to just be like, and now Mastodon. No,
let it fade out from like John Legend's piano.
Yes.
Into Mastodon.
Soft piano, whoever the last one is, fade to black, and then just. It's my favorite Mastodon song, by the way.
Metal Mikey.
We will end here with Judy S. The whole Grammys is rigged. The Illuminati and Ruthless Devil run the music and TV industry. And just like NASCAR, which I once loved, this is also all fixed for the bad people to win awards and be promoted. I did not think NASCAR is fixed is where we would end up with the Grammys Facebook comments, but here we are. Harry Styles has set a record. You know, just a few days ago, he came out with his first single from his new album, Harry's House. His new album's going to be out May 20th, but the single As It Was came out, and it is just new song, As It Was. Why did I just say the Harry's new song?
Harry's.
As It Was broke a Spotify record. On release day, the song became the most streamed song in the U.S. for a single day. As It Was, with 8.3 million streams in just a 24-hour period.
Crazy number.
It surpasses Olivia Rodrigo's Driver's License, which previously held the record with about 8 million streams. So all time in the United States, the most streamed song for 24 hours is now Harry Styles' As It Was, with 8.3 million streams. Harry Styles is also clearing something up. At the beginning of the song, you hear a little kid's voice.
Come on, Harry, we want to say goodnight to you.
Come on, Harry, we want to say goodnight to you.
Come on, Harry, we want to say goodnight to you.
Now, some people thought that was the 5-year-old daughter, Daisy, of Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis, because those two were together, had kids together, and, of course, they split up. Olivia Wilde is now dating Harry Styles. Mm-hmm. It is not their daughter, though. The internet sort of, figured it would be their daughter. It sort of sounds like it might be a 5-year-old.
Come on, Harry, we want to say goodnight to you.
But Harry cleared it up in an interview. He said, "It's my goddaughter," at the start of the song, referring to Ruby Winston, daughter of British filmmaker Ben Winston. Harry said, "The streak of calling me every night before bed, I missed it once, and she wanted to let me know it. She was quite angry with me about it. And then I dug it up in the studio one day and added it to the start of the song, and it just kind of stuck. I love it."
Come on, Harry, we want to say goodnight to you.
So again, that is not the 5-year-old daughter of Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis.
How do we get on that call list?
It is
the Harry Styles goodnight call list?
Seriously, what do I got to do to wish Harry Styles good night every night? Yeah, I don't know how we get on that list. Or I want Harry to call me just once a week.
Come on,
Harry. Come on, Harry.
We want to say goodnight to you.
We do want to say goodnight to you, Harry. So again, congrats to Harry Styles setting the record, As It Was, for the most streams in Spotify history in a 24-hour period in the United States, with 8.3 million streams.
Come on, Harry, we want to say goodnight to you.
Mike and Bob, it's the 96.1 KISS Morning Freak Show. As always, you can get a hold of us when we're doing the show. 412-937-9610. That's 412-937-9610. Or when you're streaming 96.1 KISS on the iHeartRadio app, you can simply hit that red talkback microphone. This is the way a lot of people like to get in touch with us now, like this one.
Hey, Mike, hey, Bob. I am going to Florida next week for a work trip, and I'm saying all the prayers and mental preparation to go there and come back and not be a Florida story for you all.
Yeah, okay.
I'll let you know how it goes.
I mean, just no hard drugs, no getting naked in public. Don't use an alligator as a weapon. Those are just some simple Florida,
things to live by. Yeah,
sort of Florida rules when you go down there. Yes, don't become a Florida story. That you know what? Actually, do become a Florida story, because it's better for our show if you do something down there and don't get arrested down in Florida. Sources are now saying that Kanye West is finally agreeing to get help after, I think, so many public outbursts. He recently got banned from Instagram for 24 hours. Kanye actually won 2 Grammys last night at the Grammy Awards for Donda. He was not there. He didn't perform at the Grammys. But according to a report on Page 6, Kanye has finally decided to get some help. He reportedly told Kim Kardashian that he was getting some sort of treatment after last month. A lot of things went on online, again, where he got a 24-hour suspension from Instagram. And he did get banned from the Grammys, didn't he, right? Like, he was supposed to perform, I believe, at one point, even though he was never officially announced. And then they just, don't think they wanted a live microphone on Kanye West with a lot of the things that he's been posting online, especially since the reason he got banned for 24 hours from Instagram was because he posted a racial slur towards Trevor Noah, who hosted the Grammys last night. So no surprise that Kanye wasn't there, but Kanye claimed he wouldn't make any public appearances or inflammatory social media statements for the sake of their children. Not clear if he's going to like a rehab facility or a wellness facility. Nobody really knows, but Kanye's rep said he's committed to a healthy co-parenting relationship and focused on raising their beautiful children. So you hope that that is an accurate report, because I think obviously through a lot of this, seeing Kanye, and especially since that 3-part documentary Genius came out on Netflix, you really realize that this guy is a musical genius, but there is something else going on mentally, or something bipolar. There's something off with him where he needs to be medicated or get therapy or talk to someone. From watching just that Netflix special, you can sort of ascertain that this
From
guy,
episode 1 to episode 3, there is a spiral. Yeah,
you can say this guy's not dealt still properly with the death of his mother.
Oh no, not at all.
So you just hope whatever's going on with him, and I know there's a lot of things that we talk about with Kanye West on the show, because he's just this huge figure in pop culture, and him going at Pete Davidson and things like that. Like, of course, he's huge pop culture figure, but you also, know that there is a human behind that. And yes, he's done some wrong, over his years. He's said some things, done some things that a lot of people don't agree with. But at the end of the day, if somebody needs help, if they're going through something, mentally, and I think a lot of us during that time where he was getting banned from Instagram and calling out Pete Davidson and sort of scaring Kim Kardashian, a lot of us are just like, this dude kind of needs some help. So you hope that report is accurate and Kanye West is now getting the help he needs.
96.1 Kiss.
Hope everybody had a good time at the big 96.1 Kiss Justin Bieber show at the arena on Saturday night. That was a fun show. And then Bieber flew to be on the Grammys on Sunday night. He performed last night. So yes, a lot going on with Justin Bieber. Congrats again to our buddy Pat McAfee, of course, from Plum, and then punted at West Virginia and became an all-pro punter for the Colts. Pat McAfee had an incredible match last night at WrestleMania, so big salute, big explosion to our buddy Pat McAfee. Hey, men's title game tonight. We wrapping up the bracket finally.
How's that bracket, huh?
The bracket's been done since like the first weekend. Kansas plays North Carolina for the men's national title. Well, March Madness. 9:20 start for the title game tonight. Is that a real thing? 9:20?
Like no one to watch it? Is that what they're going for?
They're just being like, East Coast, you go ahead and get out of here, East Coast. We know you're not watching East Coast. Get out of here. The women's national championship over the weekend, South Carolina beat UConn for the women's title. The Pirates have announced who their opening day starter is going to be for the game on Thursday when the Pirates season opens in St. Louis. Their 7th starter in as many years, ladies and gentlemen, J.T. Brubaker will be Pirates opening day.
Yes. All right,
hold on. He's the 7th different pitcher to start the opener in as many years for the Pirates. Last year, Chad Kuhl. 2020, it was Joe Musgrove. 2019, Jamison Tyone.
Wow.
2018, Ivan Nova. 2017, Garrett Cole, and Francisco Liriano. In 2016, J.T. Brubaker gets the ball as the opening day starter for the Pirates, their 7th opening day starter in as many years. He is 6-16 over the past 2 seasons. Pirates home opener will be Tuesday, April 12th at 4:12. Pitcher for that game has not been announced. Penguins lose to the Colorado Avalanche on Saturday in Colorado. They're one of the best teams in the league, though. They definitely hung with the Avalanche, and Coach Sullivan did not have an update on injured forward Jason Zucker, and indicated that Zucker would be evaluated once the team gets back to Pittsburgh. Zucker suffered. Zuffer? I Zuffered him right there, right? I Zuffered him.
Little Zuffer.
Zucker suffered. That combo right there. Zucker suffered, got me. I Zuffered him. Zucker suffered an undisclosed injury Thursday in Minnesota. Pens get a rematch with Colorado, though, tomorrow night at PPG Paints Arena. Of course, you can get your tickets at PittsburghPenguins.com and listen to the game for free on the iHeartRadio app on 105.9 The X.
So go easy on me.
It's Mikey Bob, the 96.1 Kiss Morning Freak Show. What's up with Adele? Did Easy on Me and her album, did those come out like after the period at the Grammys, like the cutoff date? Like, is next year going to be Adele's year at the Grammys? Because Like, where was she? It's got to be a cutoff date thing, right?
It definitely is. September 1st through September 1st, 2020 through September 30th, 2021. Easy on Me didn't come out till October 15th, 2021.
So just missed it then, huh?
And her album didn't come out till the 19th of November. So, yeah, next year will be her year.
So next year, like a year from now at the Grammys, we're going to be talking about probably Adele's album and Easy on Me. That song next year at the Grammys is going to feel like it's 5 years old.
So old, yeah.
People are going to be questioning, like, wait, that was last year? And it just missed the cutoff for this year's Grammy. So it's almost going to be as far as possible that you need to be nominated for a Grammy. But that could be really weird because it feels like Adele's music should have been in this Grammy Awards, and it'll be in next year's Grammy Awards. I'm sure it's going to get nominated for everything, right?
Yeah.
And, like, that's going to feel so old. In a year from now, it's going to feel like a 3-year-old song.
It felt like she was messing with the rest of the music that was there last night.
They did, right? Like, it felt like they should have snuck her in there. But, yes, all of her music will be, I guess, eligible for next year's Grammys. The big award of the night, Album of the Year, went to John Batiste for his album We Are. Also, Silk Sonic with Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. They opened up the Grammys. They won Song and Record of the Year for Leave the Door Open. Also, a big night for Olivia Rodrigo. She wins 3 Grammys, including Best New Artist. A lot of people were not happy that the Grammys gave Louis C.K. Comedy Album of the Year for Sincerely Louis C.K. Because of just all the things that he's done in the past. And we're just, you can say what you want about cancel culture, but yeah, Louis C.K. took a couple years off and everything, but I mean, he just won a Grammy last night.
Right.
What's the real punishment there? And then, of course, we've sort of been talking since the passing of the Foo Fighters drummer, Taylor Hawkins, sort of unexpectedly a couple weeks ago. We sort of just wondered what the tribute would be. Because the Foo Fighters were supposed to perform at the Grammys. Now, Billie Eilish performed. She was wearing a Taylor Hawkins shirt. That was pretty cool. But also, when Trevor Noah came out and he sort of introed the In Memoriam segment by saying this is the part of the show that the Foo Fighters were supposed to be here. They were supposed to perform. And then they sort of paid tribute to Taylor Hawkins with, they gave him more than just like, here's his name real quick and the dates he lived on the In Memoriam segment. So it was like a nice little tribute there that led into the In Memoriam segment. But the Foo Fighters also won all 3 Grammys that they were nominated for. Of course, no band members were there for the ceremony. They won for Best Rock Performance, Best Rock Song, and Best Rock Album. And again, a tribute to Taylor Hawkins at the spot in the show where the Foo Fighters were supposed to play. That sort of led to the In Memoriam segment. So, it was good to see that they paid a nice little tribute there to Taylor Hawkins. And again, it's just it's got to be so rough, like going 3 for 3 and winning 3 Grammys, even for a mega band like the Foo Fighters, still a huge deal. None of them are there, obviously, still in mourning over their friend, but 3 for 3 for the Foo Fighters last night, even though they, of course, were not there at the Grammys last night.
96.1 Kiss.
The Mikey and Bob podcast.
Oh, God, not again. Let's not do this again. We got to get to the SNL stuff here.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing major happened at the Grammys that was on the level of the Will Smith, Chris Rock slap. So, we got to milk the slap content. Milk the slap content. Here we are, still milking the slap content over a week after it happened because, of course, Saturday Night Live was going to do their jokes. All right, this is just from Weekend Update, right? This is Michael Che, Colin Jost sort of going with the Oscar slap jokes.
Intelligence officials are saying that Vladimir Putin is being misinformed by his advisors about how badly the Russian military is performing in Ukraine, which is kind of like Will Smith's agent telling him, you crushed it at the Oscars.
There we go. Milk the slap content.
During his acceptance speech, Will Smith said, love will make you do crazy things. You know what else makes you do crazy things? Crazy.
There we go. All right. Milk the slap content.
But I understand where Will's coming from. I mean, you can't expect him to sit there and watch another man jump all over his wife without signing an NDA.
Milk the slap content.
Yesterday, Will Smith resigned from the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts, and Sciences. He wasn't going to, but then Jada gave him that look.
I mean, you knew SNL was going to have
They loaded up, yep.
Milk the slap content. It is over a week now, and we are continuing to milk the slap content.
If Will Smith had been expelled, he would have joined a small group of people kicked out of the Academy, including Bill Cosby, Roman Polanski, and Harvey Weinstein, or as they're also known, Bad Boys for Life.
Milk the slap content.
Also, can we stop pretending everybody knew Jada had alopecia? I mean, as much as we heard about Jada and Will's personal lives, you can't expect us to retain everything. It's like Kanye saying, don't act like y'all ain't know I had psoriasis.
Pretty good. Milk the slap content. All right, almost done here. This is SNL Weekend Update. You knew they had a week to write slap jokes.
I also really love that the reason they let Will Smith stay in the audience was that they asked Chris Rock, and he said it was okay. So now we just ask the victim right after they get hit in the head, hey, you cool if the guy who just attacked you hangs around for a while? You don't want to make him mad again. I can't believe the Academy has a worse concussion protocol than the NFL.
All right, we're getting towards the end here, but we are milk and slap content. All right, hold on.
I think we should just acknowledge that was one of the craziest things we will ever see in our lives. It's truly like the Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction, but if Janet's nipple slapped Timberlake.
We're almost there, I promise. Milk and slap content. All right, here we go.
Not to mention, Chris Rock has been very public about his nonverbal learning disorder, which means it's hard for him to understand nonverbal signals. Sort of like how when he saw an angry Will Smith charging towards him, and instead of moving out of the way, he put both his hands behind his back, smiled, and said, "Oh."
That's such a good word. Put both of his hands behind his back, smiled, and said, "Uh-oh, it's so true." Milk and slap content. Milk and slap content. All right, it's been over a week. Are we done yet?
Is it
done? I mean, the Grammys didn't really give us anything, so we're still on the slap here on the Kiss Morning Freak Show. Is this Pink thing a real thing? Pink was mad about this Grammys list that Rolling Stone did. All right, let me get to this real quick because Pink deleted her comment, but it looks like enough people screenshotted it. This is a tough one because a lot of times you get fake screenshots. Like whenever somebody takes a screenshot of a comment, you're sort of playing with internet fire there. Right?
You got to double down, look around, see if it's anyplace else.
Entertainment Tonight Canada is the one that has this sort of screenshot from Pink in the Rolling Stone comments because Rolling Stone put out a list of the greatest 25 Grammy performances of all time. Now, do we need to do this like power rankings? You want to just do the top 5 real quick? Yeah, let's just do this real quick.
It's time for Power Rankings with Mikey and Bob on 96.1 KISS. Brought to you by our friends at C. Harper Auto Group.
All right, now these are not our power rankings. These are the power rankings that were posted on RollingStone.com. This is by Rob Sheffield. His top 5 Grammy performances of all time. Number 5 from 1975. Stevie Wonder, You Haven't Done Nothing. The 4th greatest Grammy performance of all time, according to Rolling Stone. Last year, Taylor Swift, Cardigan, August, and Willow. Wow, really? Yeah, I got Taylor up there. Number 3 from 2017, Beyonce, Love, Drought, and Sandcastles. Rolling Stone's second greatest Grammy performance, 1985, Prince and the Revolution, Baby, I'm a Star. And according to this Rolling Stone article that has Pink so upset that she's not upset, and I'll get to that in a minute, their number one Grammy performance of all time, 2016. The Blacker the Berry and All Right by Kendrick Lamar. That's a good performance, man.
Boom, boom, yeah. Woo! Let go.
All right, so now Pink sees that list, and they did a top 25, the 25 greatest Grammy performances. By the way, none from last night have made this list, it doesn't look like. Rob Sheffield from Rolling Stone putting the list out, and then Pink, who, again, if you remember Pink, back in 2010, performed Glitter in the Air and was like, you know, on those ribbons floating.
Doing her Pink stuff.
Just, you know.
Flying across the
crowd. And doing spins while singing. It was an incredible performance. But Pink put in the comments section, and then I guess she's deleted this now. Pink, this is the magazine that used to feature people like John Lennon and Muddy Waters. Hunter S. Thompson wrote political pieces. They put Tina Turner on their cover. Then they sold out all credibility, went to Bleep when style over substance and revenue over authenticity went into play. That's when Snooki became acceptable coverage. I mean, Snooki from catching strays. Snooki from Jersey Shore's catching strays from Pink here as she's going at Rolling Stone. Pink again putting here, give me a bleeping break, do your homework. You don't have to like me or my music or anything about me, and believe me, I could give a bleep, but this is the biggest sellout in bleeping history when it comes to a publication we all once trusted. Bleep Rolling Stone, and I've felt that way for decades, as so many of my favorite artists and my peers have. This isn't just about their horrendous opinion of rating Grammy performances. It's decades of wasting trees and people's time. That is apparently an Instagram comment that Pink made.
It should have been deleted.
And then deleted.
That's one where you step back and it's like, man.
That's when your phone starts blowing up the second you send it from your people, your managers.
Like, why are you so angry?
Yeah, it's just like, that is not a good look.
Snooki?
Delete that. Snooki caught a stray in Pink's Rolling Stone rant. Again, it's deleted so you can't find it, but Entertainment Tonight Canada is saying that it was a real comment that they screenshotted. Wow, did not expect to read Pink hates Rolling Stones over their Grammy. Like, she became a Facebook comment.
She did.
She sounds like an older person that's just like, back in my day, Rolling Stone covered John Lennon. Now they covering Snooki from Jersey Shore, like that's even
dated.
That's like 15 years ago at this point. Like, that's not even relevant either. You know, there could be somebody that would be like, Rolling Stone, I remember when they used to cover relevant pop culture stuff, like they put Jersey Shore on the cover. Now it's all this crap. Pink turned into a Grammy Facebook comment because she didn't make their top 25 Grammy performances. We're all going to learn something together right now. It's time to find out, why the hell is this trending with Mikey and Bab? Twitter is trending. Elon Musk is trending. 9.2% of Twitter is trending because apparently, according to reports, Elon Musk has bought a just over 9% stake in Twitter now, which means he is Twitter's largest shareholder. Elon Musk has criticized Twitter recently, and I think now he's just like, all right, well, if I don't like some of the things that Twitter does,
let me just buy it.
I'm going to buy my way into Twitter. Jack Dorsey, I think, who most people is sort of the face of Twitter, the CEO of Twitter, he owns 2% of the company. Elon Musk now owns 9% of Twitter. Yep. So obviously that is a big story today. Also mixed in with all the different things that are trending from last night's Grammy Awards. Trevor Noah hosted the show. And again, there wasn't a lot of talk about the Oscar slap with Will Smith and Chris Rock. There was this little thing.
We're listening to some music. We're going to be dancing. We're going to be singing. We're going to be keeping people's names out of our mouths. And we're going to be giving out awards all throughout the night.
I feel like the Grammys changed during the pandemic because I remember Do you remember the pandemic, the Grammy Awards, where it was like, I think they kicked off with like 4 different artists all on stage at the same time, and it went like Billie Eilish and then Harry Styles, and like it was a really cool way to kick it off, and you're just like, oh wow, we're gonna be about the performances, and I feel like that's what the Grammys are now. And Trevor Noah made sort of a comment to that, saying, you know, we're going to have fun. We're going to have a party tonight, and then we'll give out some awards. It
was more of a concert
here and there.
It really was, yeah.
It's sort of like how the Grammys has done that over the past few years. I don't know if that's something that sort of just started during the pandemic, but John Batiste won the biggest album of the night, the Album of the Year award, the sort of the biggest Grammy of the night. Also, Silk Sonic, I think, was sort of a shock. I mean, everybody loves Silk Sonic, right? Like Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. They won Record of the Year and Song of the Year for Leave the Door Open. A huge night for Silk Sonic.
We are really trying our hardest to remain humble at this point, okay? But in the industry, we call that a clean sweep. All right? For all the other nominees, y'all know we love y'all. We love y'all. All right? Drinks is on Silk Sonic tonight. We getting drunk.
Yeah, sort of their night. Olivia Rodrigo won 3 Grammys. She had a great performance of Driver's License, also won Best New Artist. A lot of K-pop fans, a lot of BTS fans.
A little upset.
Including me and Bob, who are card-carrying members of the BTS Army, right? Like, they had a great performance of Butter. But here's the thing with BTS. I feel like a lot of time they get used for award shows, especially American award shows, where they stick BTS towards the end of the show to keep BTS fans watching the entire time. But they actually didn't for this past Grammys last night. They were earlier in the show.
Trevor Noah kept referencing them and stuff, though, throughout the show. It's just like, then they didn't get anything.
Scammies was trending earlier because a lot of BTS fans were upset that they did not even win the Grammy for Best Pop Duo or Group Performance. They lost out to Doja Cat and SZA for Kiss Me More. Doja Cat, by the way, almost missed her Grammy moment because she went to the bathroom.
I have never taken such a fast in my whole life.
By the way, Doja Cat, there were sort of rumors and some things that she's been posting over the past couple weeks that's saying that she was done with music. She made it clear that that is not going to happen until she goes on tour with The Weeknd this summer. Doja Cat saying, for those who are seeing me at the After Hours tour, I'm not bailing, but not me bailing doesn't mean my ass isn't going to disappear right after. I still got bleep I got to do, and a lot of y'all think because I post a bleeping picture, it means I'm not out of music. Pick doesn't equal music, goofy. So Doja Cat has been saying that she's like just over the whole music industry and wanted to quit music, but is not going to do that until at least the Weeknd After Hours tour, which kicks off.
Gotta get that tour check, man.
Yes, it kicks off July 8th in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's Mikey and Bob, the 96.1 Kiss Morning Freak Show. Might need a nap today, man.
Oh, no.
Just Grammys and WrestleMania, just too late last night. Yeah, I just stayed up a little bit too late.
Tired out?
A little bit. Just feel like I need a nap to get me to the end of the day today. By the way, it is Mikey and Bob, the 96.1 Kiss Morning Freak Show. Started watching another show. Actually, I wouldn't say I started watching it. I finished watching another show.
Not surprising. What is it?
I watched the entire first season of that Severance show on Apple TV Plus. Severance.
I haven't seen it.
It's called. Yeah, it's a weird show. Got through the first season. It's all right, though. Kind of liked it. It's different, but I watched the whole season yesterday.
I like that you watch shows you don't even enjoy anymore. You're just like,
no, I liked it, but just
it's okay. It's weird.
The problem with binge watching is I watch shows too quick. So if you asked me any question about this show, I don't really know. I just watched one episode after another and watched the whole first season.
For the most part, you watch shows before they even catch on for people. Like, there's plenty of shows where you watch and you're done with and through, and all of a sudden Like, people are coming around to watch it, like, weeks later.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, watch that.
And the problem is, I just have no recollection of watching that. Couldn't even tell you what the main character's name is in that show. Severance on Apple TV+. You know what else is on tonight? It's week 3 of American Song Contest. It's a pretty cool show they have going on NBC now, hosted by Snoop and Kelly Clarkson. It's based, again, I've said this before, it's based on that Eurovision Song Contest, which is such a huge thing. And it has live original musical performances from all the 50 states and the 5 U.S. territories and Washington, D.C., and everybody competes for best original song.
Mm-hmm.
But the other thing that's cool is, like, this isn't like it is like an amateur thing. Like, there can be groups that can be discovered, but also, like, I think tonight the song from Alaska comes from Jewel. So it's like
Jewel out of nowhere.
It's like you can have already famous people represent your state, or it can be somebody totally new and different. Performers from Alabama, Florida, New Jersey, Texas, and Jewel from Alaska tonight on American Song Contest. That airs on NBC. All right, Bob, what do you want to name the podcast today? Mikey and Bob podcast brought to us by our friends at Carlow University.
Pumping away at the Grammys.
All right, come on. What was that one Facebook comment? We were reading Grammy's Facebook comments a little earlier on the show.
Somebody's complaining about pumping.
No, hold on. Let me find the... Oh, yeah. Edmund V. Too much sex at the Grammys. I turned it on and saw some guy grabbing his crotch and pumping away and turned it off. Please, parents, teach your kids about the birds and bees. Don't let them watch these perverts pump. I won't be watching next year. Again, I question if that's a real comment or not. That seems like it's just somebody trolling, right?
I hope so.
But with the Facebook comments,
you never know.
You never know. I had to turn it off. There was somebody that was just pumping away, grabbing their crotch, and I had to turn this off. All right, so Pumping Away at the Grammys is the name of the podcast today. Again, if you missed any of our show, get caught up with the Mikey and Bob podcast on the free iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts, brought to us by our friends at Carlow University. That's it for us. Ryan Seacrest shows up right now. Talk to you later.
Let's make some noise.
We're going to do that show on a Friday? It just seems weird.
Yeah, feels strange.
But